Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back. Our guest today is Dan Stuart, CEO and President of Juggernaut Exploration. Welcome back, Dan.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Ivan. It's great to be here again. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a huge pleasure having you come down and speaking to the silver and gold community and the investing community. I wanted to get you down and talk about, what's happening in gold and silver right now. A lot of people who've been on recently on the channel, they said, we're in a period of consolidation. I think it's gonna go sideways for a bit. Some guests are saying no, it's gonna go higher from here. What are your thoughts for silver and gold?
Well, my thoughts for first gold off the bat is I think we're done kind of a sideways consolidation pattern. We had quite a ferocious move to 3,500 and then came back and consolidated here a bit. Once these Basel III rules kick in here shortly, where gold will be carried as money on balance sheets of banks, we're going to see this march continue in bullion. It's really the true store of wealth. Gold is actually behaving like money.
Right.
Is really how it's behaving right now. And you can see with Bitcoin, not to bring that into the conversation, but it's really just tied in like a supercharger to where the NASDAQ is. You literally put the two charts side by side and they trade in tandem, right? So very bullish on gold here. I like silver even more. We're at a ratio right now of call it a 100 to 1. And we should realistically be somewhere between, some say 50, but at least I'd say on the bottom end, 80,
Yeah, I know.
80 to 1 right now. So when you're traditionally at these very historic lows, from a charting perspective, valuation perspective, that it's indicative that we're at a bottom and things are going to have a big turn here, right?
Right. And a lot of industrial demand, especially for silver, is growing due to like green energy and electronics and all the applications in military that keep on going and they need more and more silver. How much do you think this will influence silver prices and the value relative to gold in the coming years?
Well, gold. I'm seeing some form of a debt reset, some form of a currency crisis that the Western countries or some of the Western countries will have. And we haven't really seen anything like that in our lifetime or maybe for over 100 years, but we've seen it in other areas like Zimbabwe, Argentina, different areas. We've seen how gold has acted in those environments, and it's really the leader. And it just drags silver along. Now, that ratio will tighten up. And also with the industrial applications of silver, it's a heavily used metal in rockets. And we're seeing the defense spending go through the roof. Some of the best performing equities this year to date are European defense stocks
Yeah.
because Trump's finally holding their fingers to the fire and saying, you have to make your NATO minimums, right? And we're not helping you. You have to deal with this, get to it. And then we also see a lot of it with the green energy transition. A lot of this new photovoltaics technology, photovoltaics, the sun, really the source of all energy originally. With the uptake, you're going to need double the amount of silver in these panels. So, and there's medical applications. There's a number of other manufacturing, computer electronics, your iPhone.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that silver will be gold, a higher torque version of gold,
And
right?
absolutely. And like a lot of investors, they're concerned about the currency debasement and global uncertainty. In your eyes, Dan, how should they approach allocating between gold and silver in their portfolios today? Like, what advice would you give them? And even if it's not advice, what guidance would you give them?
Yeah. Well, I can speak for myself, and I 31 years in the industry, and portfolio theory back in the late 80s, 90s, precious metals would equate for at least 10% of an investor's portfolio.
Right.
And that could be a makeup of all physical, split between gold and silver 50-50, so stackers. That could be owning some of the senior gold and silver producers and then some physical bullion, at least 10% weighted in that sector. modern portfolio theory now taught in universities has zero weighting in this space. So
Which is crazy.
absolutely crazy. So I believe that's probably already changing. Myself, I have well over 10%, over 50% actually is weighted in this space. That's a combination between equities, stacking, mineral land ownership, syndicates, stuff like that,
Right.
that tend to be a little bit more risky. I understand the space, but I would suggest that 10% of assets should be in some form of either physical bullion or physical silver, right?
And now a message from our sponsor, Juggernaut Exploration.
One of the more exciting ones, I think, is Juggernaut. I know some people say, well, lightning can't strike twice, and but look, I think one of the things you got to reflect on is that the some of the guys who work here at Juggernaut are some of the same geologists that basically found and have now advanced sherbet at Goliath, okay, over the past years. So they have a very different way of thinking about exploration in the Golden Triangle than most other geologists, okay? And they've gone out and they've identified what could be another sherbet type target here. And the size of these veins is absolutely jaw dropping. My hunch is these guys are onto something pretty special.
The link in the description is right below for Juggernaut Exploration. Now back to the episode. Absolutely. And with how much uncertainty there is in the world right now, geopolitical tensions, I mean, I feel like more and more people are getting into the silver and gold space. Like even on this channel alone, we've grown so much, and a lot of the investors, they're youth. There are a lot of they're the younger crowd who's getting into silver and gold and who are just trying to protect themselves. But Dan, for people who don't know you and for the first time, them coming to this channel and seeing you, what first got you into gold and silver? Where did it all start? What was the motivation?
Well, the motivation was actually buying junior mining stock when I was 12 years old, and I bought it with newspaper route money.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, pretty crazy. So I got the bug early. My mom worked at a brokerage firm by the name of Yorkton Securities, and sometimes she'd come home 4 or 5 a.m. and she'd been marking trade certificates all night
Wow.
and trade tickets for world-renowned discoveries of mineral deposits being found. So, you'd hear these stories around the dinner table of a stock being 10 cents and then $64 within a matter of a week or two.
Oh my goodness.
So I got bit by the bug early, right?
Nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And
Yeah.
what about you for like physical silver and gold? Do you like are you putting some of your percentage of your portfolio into actual silver gold physically, or is it more on just the producers and the exploration companies? And yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Producers, exploration companies, and land syndicates, which goes out and stakes vast tracts of prospective mineral terrain that has historical showings on it, or some evidence geologically that there's a large deposit. And then I also keep roughly 1%, and I'm a bit of a coin guy, so.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a stacker of coins, and I have access to a lot of just physical bullion and silver in the ground.
Yeah.
So I like to collect the coins because I believe that as currency, if and when things do come to that, I'll actually be able to transact.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, through the ounces and through the coins.
that's right.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Yeah, well, the Canadian maples, I love. I love the Canadian maples. They got a nice look to them.
They do. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Dan, it's such a huge pleasure having you come and speak into the silver and gold community. But before you go, where could people find, your work? I'm going to put Juggernaut Exploration in the link below so they can connect with you guys. They can take a look at the company and learn more. But where can people find you guys? Is it just Juggernaut or is there more links?
Well, you can go to juggernautexploration.com. You can follow us on LinkedIn at Juggernaut Exploration. You can follow us on Twitter too as well, and Facebook at Juggernaut Exploration. We've found over 200 polymetallic veins at surface in an 800 meter by 1.2 kilometer area, very tight zone. And these are sampling well over 3 ounces gold and over 3,000 grams silver.
Wow.
It's right next door to Newmont's Galore Creek, which is one of the highest and largest grade porphyries in the Americas. Snow and ice is melted just beside it. Guess what? We went looking and we're finding high grade gold and silver over 11 kilometers on what we're calling the 11-kilometer long highway of gold.
Wow. Wow.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, no, that's super impressive. Everyone watching this, I highly, highly recommend. Please go check out Juggernaut Silver, Juggernaut Exploration, and please check out Dan Stewart. I'm going to put the Twitter links and the LinkedIn links below. So everyone watching, please click it. Please go follow their work. And yeah, Dan, as always, such a huge pleasure having you come down. And as everything develops with Juggernaut Exploration and the silver and gold market, love to have you back on in the future.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Ivan.
No problem. Talk to you soon.